Welcome to Big Rascals, where we may be grown-ups, but we will never stop being rascals. We are the boys' book club, not just for the boys, but all those who enjoy reading, writing, comedy, and entertainment. Our purpose is to have fun, discovering new worlds, making friends, and finding a cure for dyslexia. What's up, guys?
Hey, happy to be back.
We're back. Once again, I'm here with Derek and Jeff. Just wanted to give a little background on each other and show you our credentials for being nerds. Derek, we've certified Derek as our residential nerd on residential expert on all things D&D and Pokemon.
Don't forget the dragons.
Yeah, dragons is where
dragons.
It's got dragons. I'm interested.
What about Dragon D's nuts?
Oh, get out of here.
Okay, never mind. Jeff, he's certified as our resident expert in all things video games and Magic the Gathering.
Dark Souls especially.
You can say I'm a little obsessed.
Oh, yeah. Dark Souls is good. We all actually have a Magic group and we all play Magic together.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Definitely count on me playing the Dragon Tribal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget Greg here. He's the space closeted nerd. He also likes football, which kind of, sets
definitely
him down
the most
a tier.
athletic out of the three of us.
I play D&D fantasy football.
Yeah.
D&D for jocks.
He plays with real people.
Yeah. Well, that's us. Welcome to the show. Let's start off with our top 5. This time we're giving our top 5 Saturday morning cartoons.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, who wants to start with that? I've been really excited about this one. I probably put way too much thought into this one.
You start us off, man.
All right, fantastic. So at number 5, it's kind of, I guess, a pet show of mine. I don't think anyone else is going to have this. Beast Wars Transformers came out in 1996.
Ooh.
I know Jeff has some problems with it, which it did have some episodes that were, that really stupid. But as far as it went, it had great characters with great personalities that bounce off each other. But that gosh darn awful CGI really makes it look bad.
Dude, at the time,
The best toys, though.
it seemed incredible.
Right.
When I was a kid.
Right?
It seemed so futuristic.
Oh, and I loved the toys, too.
That
I
was
still
the
have a
future.
ton of those action figures. Number 4 is Gargoyles. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I've only seen the preview for Gargoyles on it was a Disney.
Like every Disney VHS.
Yeah, Disney VHS previews.
Oh, man, you are missing
Gargoyles.
Yeah, Keith David does a great job voicing, and it's the only kids cartoon I've actually seen have an episode on gun safety. So they got that going for you. And number 3 is Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
A great show which really captured the essence of who Peter Parker was and how he tried to balance being responsible for his superhero powers and being, a kid as well.
Yeah. Derek's naming all like the canceled shows.
Right? Right? And number 2, it's a tie. It's either Batman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited. Pretty much this is my Batman insert because Batman as an animated hero or maybe Batman Beyond. Oh, shoot. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
They just made Batman look so cool.
Batman Beyond's a continuation of Batman Animated Series. So
True.
You could
I guess you could lump
part
that
of
in
it,
there,
yeah.
but I love a lot of the episodes where they show Batman, caring for his villains, which completely compelling stuff, especially as a kid. And then number 1, this was a no-brainer for me. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Concise, beautifully animated, great themes and nuances, and freaking hilarious.
Some of the best character arcs of all time.
It is probably the closest thing to perfection in cartoons we've ever achieved as humanity.
Yeah. Good list, man. I like it.
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah.
Try to
That was a
beat
good
it.
one.
Okay. I'll go next, I
Yeah.
guess. I have a couple more honorable mentions, just in case some of them didn't qualify for Saturday morning. I think they do, though. I think The Spectacular Spider-Man. That one was I got into when I was a little older. That one was pretty awesome, actually. Rocket Power. Jeff and I
Never heard of this.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I think this was a cable
That's like a
or
foggy
Nickelodeon
memory
or something.
Yeah.
So I only
It's like
watched
the kids,
it.
The kids next door kind of style of
Oh,
animation
okay.
with the weird wonky heads.
Yeah.
But
But
they were like skateboarders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These were like I only watched it when we went to like a hotel or a friend's house or something. So, but I remember just loving it. And then Garfield and Friends. Those are my my honorable mentions. Garfield and Friends was awesome. My top 5. Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, how did I forget them?
Which one though?
Probably. I mean, just the one I grew up on.
Talking about the 80s, like
80s, 90s, early 90s.
That's pretty good.
I mean, probably one of the more influential shows as a kid. I didn't like watch the whole series. I'd catch an episode here and there, but all my toys were TMNT. They were my favorite for sure.
I think I still have some of them.
Who was your favorite turtle?
Oh, Leonardo. Mostly because of the katanas that he has.
He's blue.
And blue. Yeah, I love blue. But yeah, I agree with you, Derek, on my number 4, Beast Wars.
Oh, you put Beast Wars on there?
Dude, Beast Wars is so cool.
I love that show.
I mean, same kind of thing. I didn't watch the whole series. I'd catch an episode here and there, but man, I remember one episode with like Ryan Ox being like a BA, dude, and I loved it. After that, Ryan Ox was like my favorite.
Oh, I think I know exactly which episode you're talking about.
Yeah. Number 3, Recess. I mean, just gold. It's so fun. That was one I watched quite often, for sure. Number 2, Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh, I know, man. The list is crazy. There's so many good ones. But man, talk about such a cool story in Jackie Chan Adventures. But I loved Jackie Chan growing up, just like all his movies and stuff. But number 1, gotta agree with you, Avatar, The Last Airbender. But I didn't watch it Saturday morning. I was growed and watched
Growed?
it. Yeah, I grew.
After years of me telling him, watch it, and having Greg watch it in the background numerous times, as I was watching it, and I'm like, "Come on, man, come watch it with me." And he's like, "No, I don't watch this cartoon."
You gotta understand, I'm a closeted nerd, so it's hard for me to come out.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Greg, I didn't watch it till I was in my 20s, and Netflix got it, so I approached this with adult sensibilities. So no nostalgia fueled our decision to put that as number 1. We can't say it was nostalgic.
Yeah, just pure quality. It was
Absolutely.
just great.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Jeff, give us your top 5.
I'm excited to hear yours.
All right. Yeah, I think Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of goes without saying. I'm going to just leave that as an honorable mention for me because it's just kind of it's just that, it's top tier epic. I didn't never watch it when I was little, but a lot when I was a little more growed. Not as growed as Greg was, but just a little bit. But my top, I would say, so is this top 5?
Yeah. 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Top 5 would be Redwall. Oh my god!
I had that one, but I didn't know if we could classify that as a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
I guess that poor show got kind of shafted by the broadcasting services, playing it at 5 p.m. So kids rarely ever saw it.
Just randomly come on, but
that one is awesome.
Influenced my just that book series was just so beloved to me, and the show. I mean, talk about being able to translate a show so perfectly from a book. They did that is one of the best examples of moving from a book to a show. But Brian, is it Jacques? the
Oh, yeah,
author.
like Jocks or
Just
something.
Love his writing, beautiful. And the show, and then at the end of every show, he would like come on. He's like, "I'm Brian Jenkins, or Jenkins. I'm here to say something about this." But yeah, that one's definitely one of my favorites. And then
We'll allow it.
yes,
Yeah, that show definitely made things seem way more epic than they should have been.
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt like they went pretty hard, just especially with the opening, and you hear
Yeah.
Sir Martin, "I am, that is.
I am that is.
And I'm like, what is this? So mystic.
So mysterious. And then Asmodeus.
I love Asmodeus.
To this day, when I see a snake, I'm like, Asmodeus.
Wait, what was
Yeah.
the rabbit's name?
Oh gosh, Basil.
Basil!
Staghair.
I remember him.
Yep.
I think he like
Oh,
drops a
whoa.
swear word in one of the first
Yeah, he
episodes. Yes. I was like, wait, what?
I watched it later, and like when I was a lot more grown up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I never noticed this."
He said, "Oh, you're going, oh, what?"
Whoa, Basil!
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then number 4 would be Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls, loved that show. Just great mystery and just pure comedy, just gold show. And you can just see the influence that show had on like shows after it. Just so many tried to copy its material.
So it's worth all the memes.
Oh yeah,
It definitely
it's
earned that right to be that many memes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a show I wish I would have watched it as it came out fully. I only watched a little bit of it as it came out, and then I think it was like right before my mission or something, so I had to leave and come back and watch it. So I didn't quite get the mystery filled experience as much as everyone else did, but
Oh, poor guy.
it's still so good.
Even on your mission.
I know. I didn't get to watch it. That was good missionary. And then number 3, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters.
Oh, see, I figured I should have, like, we all grew up with those, but, like, approaching these with adult sensibilities, man.
Oh my
I could
gosh.
not put it on the list.
That is one show, like, I can, as I've watched it more and more as I've gotten older, I have enjoyed it more. It is just so fun.
More for the cheesiness or
Or
actual
just
like
the ironic value of,
It's
like,
everything.
wow,
This-
the whole world's fate depends on a child's card game.
Yeah. It's great.
no, it's pretty epic. There's some epic parts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They definitely have some fun personalities there.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's a great 20 or to 30 minute commercial for a
Oh my gosh.
for a card
Well,
game.
That's what makes it, so great. Is you can actually play the game. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But,
not all the rules they did.
not entirely, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that the show totally messed me up on actually playing the game correctly.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Everyone. I remember playing out in the schoolyard and being like, "My blue eyes white dragon flies over
I
your
can
Fisher
summon
magic
it."
card." Yeah, I can just play it. I don't
Oh,
use anything.
I play Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 3 additional cards
Cards.
from
Oh,
my deck.
That's not what it does.
You don't have any monsters on the field.
Oh, he's supposed to be here.
Yes. I mean, it's another one of those shows that it's built memes and it's deserving of those memes, but just, oh yeah, some epic moments. The characters, especially as I've gotten older, even like the characters like Joey, when I was younger, I was like, oh, he's just annoying, underdog guy. And now I'm older, I'm like, I got feelings for Joe. I got respect for the man. He is the underdog. And I mean, talk about inspirational. So good. Another one, if you guys remember this one, it kind of relates to Jackie Chan Adventures, but Shaolin Showdown.
Shaolin Showdown. Yeah.
Showdown.
That was.
I remember it. I never really watched it though.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember that one.
that one I watched a couple years ago again, and I was like, man, this is just so good. It's one of those where it just ended too quickly. Like it had such a good build, and then it kind of got to a point where it seemed like they didn't really know where to take it after that. And then they just kind of like, oh, it's the end. But it was such a fun one. Just hunting for the treasure artifacts and like all the cool like powered items. Just as a kid, that just blew up my imagination.
Yeah, cool concept.
Yeah. And of course, TMNT, and it's got to be the ultimate version of TMNT. It's a 2001, 2000. I think it was 2003. Yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, just I've watched that one so many times, And I definitely put it up there with, or even maybe above a little bit, Avatar. I don't know. It's like it's kind of there.
Okay, tell me, where do you watch it at then?
I can't remember. You just find it in
Because
places.
I always
I think I downloaded
like
it.
Greg
off
said, I would
somewhere.
like see episodes of it here and there and be like, man, this show is really good. The turtles are really awesome, but I could never like consistently follow it. I'd love to see it all the way through.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you a link.
You grew up without cable too, right?
I did.
Yeah,
I
we're
did
all
not
like-
have cable.
We all didn't have those
Yeah.
None of
special
those
shows.
fancy shows.
Like rarely would we go to like
It was
on a
all
vacation.
4Kids or CW or WB.
Kids
WBS.
I think there was Toonami at one point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But TMNT, the 2003 version, I mean, talk about like narrative, like especially when that's another show. As I watch it when I get older, you start seeing different things that you didn't as a kid. And you're just like, my gosh, they worked this into a kid's show and it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Avatar.
Yeah.
It's just
Right?
yeah.
Those two. Top
Man,
tier.
you're putting that up with Avatar.
Up
The
with
Last
Avatar,
Airbender.
yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That was your number one?
Yep, that's
Okay.
number one. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. That's fun. I knew you had to be a little different, Jeff.
It's good to have diversity.
I like
I'm
to
glad
be-
not all of
I
us
do-
were like in solidarity for the number one. So now I have something to challenge my claims.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
do like too many.
I'm just
shows.
honestly surprised someone else had Beast Wars on their list.
Oh, dude. Oh, love it.
When I was,
Even though I
Jeff
didn't
had
even
his
see it that
problems
much.
with it.
when I was little, I did absolutely love it. I think-
Yeah, that's what because I'm sure if I rewatch it, it'd be a little painful. But yeah.
It kind of is, especially when you get to the episodes where they're like saving the early Neanderthal humans. And man, they are animated so horribly. They're
Yeah,
ugly.
humans can be animated for the
freaking
longest time.
Cheetor doing the same thing every episode. I don't want to follow the rules. I'm out of here.
Wow, that actually sounded pretty good.
He's the bad boy, man.
He had the coolest transformer, though. I still have it.
Oh, man.
Pristine condition.
Yeah.
I always loved Dinobot
Those-
and Rat
those
Trap
toys are
just
pretty cool,
fighting
actually.
all the time.
Freaking rat trap.
Shut up, Rat Trap.
Oh,
We're
man.
all gonna die.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do next is talk about Superman that just came out
Yes.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. The one that James Gunn directed this one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of known on the internet
yeah.
sphere as James Gunn's Superman.
You can see it
Yeah.
definitely in the way it's laid out and everything.
Yeah. Spoiler warning. We're probably
Mhm.
gonna spoil some
I'm
things.
definitely
So
not holding anything back.
pause it.
If you haven't seen it, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'll recommend that you go see it, but I might not recommend it as highly as these two.
Jim, we might be raining on your parade.
Yeah, you're the one who kind of sold it to us.
Yeah, Jeff went and saw it and he hyped it up like it was one of the best movies he's
Like
seen
this
in a
was
long time.
Dune or
In
something.
a long time, yes.
So, I mean, I liked it. I'll say that. Jeff, what did you
Yeah.
think of it?
It's funny. It's one of those movies that when I first watched it, I was like, "This is good," but unlike with Star Wars, what was it called? Star Wars, the Last Skywalker or whatever.
The Rise of
The
Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
I first watched that and I
It
loved
was.
it, and then as I thought about it more, I started to hate it, and I was like, "Man, this kind of sucks."
And I'm surprised you gave it a chance and loved it at first.
And then
It was blatantly
like
bad to me.
Superman, I enjoyed it, but then as I've thought about it more and as I've pondered on it more, I'm like, man, this was a really good Superman. I really liked this one and just fell in love with it more and more. So it's been one of those as I've thought about it more and
Yeah.
and it seriously was just such a fun movie. And I mean, granted, it's
I'll
probably
give you that. For
probably
sure.
doesn't follow
Yeah.
most of the normal Superman comic book style. I know James Gunn was doing a lot of different things with it, with what he was doing, and he was planning a lot of different things. But in general, I loved this Superman. He was such a kind of a unique Superman in the sense like how much he was trying to save people and even animals. Like with the whole scene where he's
saves
fighting
that
the big
squirrel.
dragon thing, and he
he's
saves
not
the
trying
squirrel.
to kill the kaiju at
Like,
all.
yeah, he's trying to focus.
I want to see how I can move it. And the Justice Gang's like, come on,
They
man.
just come in and blow it up, and you're just like, oh my gosh,
Wasn't he saying something like put it down more humanely? Or
Yeah.
something?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I do like that. I love like the dorky Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I think he did so good at that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Zack Snyder fanboy for sure. I loved that universe. I love I don't know. I love origins. Give me origins.
This one did not have it. Yeah.
You can switch up the origins a little bit and make it kind of your thing. I feel like Zack Snyder did that with Man of Steel.
Oh yeah.
Switched up the origin, but like I get James Gunn. His kind of style is definitely a big comedy aspect in it, like with Guardians of the Galaxy. But there's some times where it's more impactful if you're just a little more serious. The example I wanted to say was the part, like the forcing the humor, like when Clark and Lois are having like that heart to heart, and Clark's like feeling down, and they're talking in the apartment, and then in the background you see the Justice Gang fighting this entity, some alien,
some interdimensional.
And I'm just like,
being.
Well, I can't feel like emotional about this because I'm just laughing.
You're not.
It was funny.
You're not
something.
taking it seriously because the movie's not taking it seriously.
Yeah. So I feel like this is kind of like what you got with Tiki Wakanda. What's his name?
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika Waititi. I was going to say Tiki Wakanda. Tiki Wakanda forever.
Tiki Watiti.
Yeah, like his Thors. Like I don't know. I was never really a fan of Thor
They can
Ragnarok.
be enjoyable, but they are kind of missing some of the like impacts that you want.
Yeah, it's like
Taika Waititi. I think he just tries to make everything funny when it shouldn't always be funny. He needs someone to rein him in. He cannot be given full control.
He did some good stuff, and then he got a little big for his britches. Yeah.
Well, he did Jojo Rabbit, and that one was great. But like you said, Thor Ragnarok, I wasn't too big fan of in the other ones.
Yeah, and then Love and Thunder just
that was
bomb.
Terrible. Oh, yeah. But my opinion on Superman, like I know you're a big Zack Snyder fan, but that's where I think he did not do the best job with Superman, in my opinion, with Man of Steel.
Dude,
like Henry Cavill is still probably my favorite Superman actor. But I don't know why Zack Snyder tried to like do a dark film grain when Superman is all about truth, justice, and the American way. This is where I think James Gunn got it right. He made it right. He made Superman optimistic, and he showed that rather than tell, like with the interview he's having with Lois, and like Lois is just pushing like, what about this law? What about like all the semantics of doing the right thing and try to keep within the bounds of the law, and he just can't take it and says people were about to die. What was I supposed? I was like, okay. This is a Superman I can get behind. He understands because Superman was all about like, I just do the right thing and I have the power to do it. And I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
My problems were like, sometimes the comedy I feel like is a little too forced. I don't like the way they presented Green Lantern. He really annoyed me. And that haircut, man, I was like, dude, what are you doing? But
I got Guy Gardner. I think that's kind of like, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking of Sauce Gardner. That's a football player.
I did not like it. But you guys mentioned like, Superman trying to save her. Like he was getting all of that right. But my biggest problem was probably Lex Luthor. And here's why. Hold on.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they started off really great there. Like, they show him controlling the, what was it called? The Baravian. The Hammer of Baravia.
And
Ultraman. Ultraman. And all those people was like, this is like that. We've been through 2,500 simulations of this. I'm like, okay, this sounds like Lex. He's obsessed with defeating Superman. He's this genius who's just going.
He's like mapped every move.
Yeah, he's like going the extra 300 miles. There's a pocket dimension. He even has monkeys in there just crap talking Superman online. Like, all of that. I was
Internet
like,
trolls.
this is amazing. This is totally Lex Luthor being obsessed. This is great. And when he has Superman in his clutches, he's torturing, bringing someone there, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to go find someone else to torture. When he has all these people at his disposal to go get someone like that, I would imagine Lex wanting to, sit there and just gloat in Superman. Like, why does he leave him alone? I feel like the writers were just like,
I think that's a big
Superman
James
can't
Gunn trope
escape.
where that seems to happen a lot in his movies, where there's something with the characters and they're like stuck, and then there's like something missed that allows them to be able to get out of it somehow.
I felt like it could have been a little
plot
better
progression.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, why did Lex leave? Because Superman needs to escape with him not there.
Yeah, he needed time to convince that elemental dude.
Yeah, which I was like, man, what? Why are you doing this, Lex? You got so many people at your disposal. Just have them get that.
Yeah. No, my biggest issue with Lex was like his minions. Like the people he used were so annoying.
Yeah, the whole girlfriend
that worked for him
that was just taking selfies. Like she annoyed me so much.
I did like how they kind of played that into the plot.
Yeah, it was
like
at least
it actually
relevant.
Meant something.
I'm glad it was relevant.
But yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest thing with the movie is it was just too much. It was so many characters. No background, no origin. You're just like, oh, Hawkgirl's in this. Oh, Green Lantern's in this.
Oh, yeah, I
Mr.
forgot
Terrific's
she
in
was
this.
in there.
Oh, Ultraman's
Hawkgirl,
in this.
I forgot about her.
This elemental guy is in this, and
that's kind of
part
like
of
the
the
modern
Justice game
superhero
now.
movie dilemma, though, is because so many, and this is like why I think Spider-Man, No Way, or what's the Homecoming, the first one, Spider-Man Homecoming kind of did what it was doing, how it like had no Spider-Man origin, because people have seen origin after origin after origin. It's like we know Superman's origin.
Yeah, but not everyone's. I can understand that.
I love origins too. Like I think they're great because it's important to establish something, because you can still make them somewhat unique, but even then it's like I understand why this is kind of how they're trying to progress the superhero movies.
You don't think it's just like catch up? That's what I feel like it is. It's like, we need to catch up to Marvel, so let's throw 20 superheroes in this.
You're thinking about the first Justice League cut. Like, that's how I felt with them. They're just throwing all these superheroes
DC's
in.
always playing catch up is the problem. And
they need the same people who are making their animated films in charge of their live action.
They just
films.
need to not cancel their animated films.
Because DC kills it with their animated.
They kill
everything. Or give it back to Zack Snyder and let the man cook.
I don't know. We can get into a debate about that later, Greg, because I still don't think he did Batman justice. And I know you are a huge Batman fan.
That warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman is the best version of Batman ever.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. It is an awesome scene, but the whole movie. Never mind. We're not going to talk about this now.
Don't get me wrong.
We need another podcast for that.
Christopher Nolan Batmans are my favorite, but I did like Zack Snyder. Anyways, back to Superman.
Back to Superman.
Yeah, I did love Mr. Terrific though. I thought he was probably
that is my favorite scene.
He was done well.
Is when him and Lois are going to like the dimension portal.
Yeah,
and I've become obsessed with those songs, and I actually started like looking up all these songs from that band.
That's probably where James Gunn is the best.
Yeah,
like I don't know if he picks the track or whoever uses
that was like
is great.
So good. So that scene was
a great
just so
scene.
Fun. I was like mesmerized. Like that's the one reason I want to go back and watch it, because that movie in the theater, or that scene in the theater, that is a theater scene. Like, there's just the whole like spinning around as Mr. Terrific is kicking butt and the song's playing, and
that is a really fun scene.
Yeah. So
but as much as I love Mr. Terrific, I hated Hawk Girl. Gotta be one of the most shrillest, annoying sounds that I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I needed to add that. It did not translate well to live action.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you could have saved that for Black Canary or something down the line. Oh, man. Oh, also, I guess I did have another problem with Lois. Like, I feel like I didn't feel the chemistry between her and Clark. I was like, when he says, I love you, Lois, the whole, like you said, you have an interdimensional being in the background and stuff, but at the same time, I was like, why do you love her? Like, all I've seen her do is challenge your beliefs and, like, not offer you any support.
Kind of be, like, a little snarky.
Yeah, like, I'm like, why?
Not even,
why do you love this woman?
Yeah.
Like, why?
She kind of reminded me of, like, the 1930s animated Superman. Because I was watching a couple of those episodes, and she's actually kind of funny. Like, all she does when she meets Clark Kent is diss on him. And, like, there's this one episode where there's this, like, Godzilla-like monster, and Superman saves her from this rubble that fell, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, Superman." And she's like, "I gotta go get some pictures of this monster." And she just runs off, and Superman's like, "Oh well," and she, like, runs away to go get in danger again, and then, like, later after everything's over, like, she meets up with Clark, and she's like, and Clark's like, "Oh, what happened? Like, I missed it all." And she's like, "Oh, it's good you weren't there. You probably would have fainted." Like, she's pretty much calling Clark a wuss the entire time.
Yeah.
Is that the same animated show where, like, Clark says, like, "You want to know how I do it, Lois? Secretly, I'm Superman, and I'm getting all this." He, like, tells her the truth. He's like, "I'm Superman. I use my super speed to get all the stories there." And she's like, "Fine, keep the secrets to yourself." Probably. And she just thinks he's so stupid for that. Like, "That's all just a bunch of jokes to you, isn't it,
Just
Clark?"
a pure dork.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
That's funny. One last thing from me. The freaking theme song.
Oh, thank you.
Play the whole song.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just like they would tease you with it.
They were blue balling you so bad because it sounded so great. I was like, "Oh man, are they going to do it? This is great."
They were just like,
and
they're like, that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, no. That song is so epic, and that's what I miss from Man of Steel. But at least they, like, made their own theme, which I do love that. But the Superman theme song is so epic.
When you have John Williams write it, you know it's going to stick around forever. Also, one little nitpick. Did it bug you guys about the species of dog they used for Crypto? I wanted a white lab.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like Crypto.
Right? So he's, like, supposed to be, he's got some time to grow into, like, more, but it's supposed to be like a white lab or something, golden lab.
I liked Crypto, but I felt like he was kind of the I was gonna say I felt like he was the DX Machina. Deus Ex Machina, whatever the heck however you say that. You freaking nerds.
He was. Crypto came in at every moment.
He was clutch.
Just when he needed.
Yep.
But no, I liked it. I think it was fun. I mean, I'm probably not going to go back to the theaters and watch it. But yeah, Ultraman, the twist was cool, but I saw it from a million miles away. I knew it was going to be a clone of him. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did not. I was totally oblivious to it.
I was, like, too busy, like, thinking about other stuff. I was like, man. I was kind of too busy mad about Lex the way he had to leave.
I don't know if I heard it. I heard it before, but it literally was not a surprise at all. Like, I was just like, yeah, okay, that was him. Like, I knew that.
So you're just there like, oh, cool. I thought they already revealed that.
I was trying to, like, think of, like, it had to be, like, Lex augmented someone with Superman's DNA, or I like, it never came across that, like, he created a clone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess he did. But I think some of the theories I've heard behind that have kind of intrigued me is because he fell into that pocket dimension black hole, is the idea is that's going to be Bizarro World, and that he's going to end up as Bizarro Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of be crazy.
That'd be cool for sure.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I really am curious to see what James Gunn will do with Batman.
Mhm.
You know, being so like I'm okay with Superman being bright and happy and fun.
He's
like
supposed
that,
to, in my opinion,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's always been bright, and
Yeah.
just optimistic
Well,
and hopeful.
Metropolis has always been depicted as like the epic city because
the
Superman
idealistic-
is there.
yeah.
Yeah,
The idealistic city.
but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what goes on with it.
Yeah, that's what we think about Superman. Any other thoughts on it, guys?
I've made my complaints and I've made my compliments.
Yeah, I can
I
agree
can
with
hold
you
my
on
peace.
Luther though. I just don't know about him. Like,
Oh man, they were doing so good too. Just
Yeah.
like this obsessed man.
it's hard to like
just doing this
especially
crazy stuff.
compare it
Yeah.
to like the Luther in the animated series because that Luther is like the quintessential Luther that I've always imagined Luther to be. So it's always like when the character doesn't quite line up with that kind of Luther, I'm like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess one other thing. I felt like he nerfed Superman pretty good.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know, what do you guys, or is this kind of like earlier Superman where he's just not quite?
I always thought it was
Has
earlier
power,
Superman
full.
because I know Superman when he can let loose and he goes to the fullest extent. He goes. It's absurd how powerful Superman is.
Yeah. I mean, kind of what the scene I'm thinking of is when Superman goes in and he's all angry about Lex taking crypto, and he like breaks the door down, but then he like throws the desk away, and it just like bangs into the window. I'm like, come on, Superman would send that like miles
Send
away.
that Yeah. You could just say like this Superman seems more conscious, like he's holding back like a ton, but then there's some moments where it's like it seems like he's not quite doing enough of what he should be, especially when like that nano tech girl and Ultraman were like ganging up on him. I'm like, come on, Superman, like do something.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, use your heat vision. Come on. I'm like, I really feel like he did not use his fullest potential a lot of the time. So, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Hopefully it's building up to something.
Yeah.
But
We'll just chalk it up as he's inexperienced.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and he's new. So, but we don't know that because there wasn't an origin.
We don't know what he was as a little boy.
All right. Enough of Superman. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
The book. Why we're
here.
Yeah.
Sorry, now we're half an hour in. We're just getting to it. This is what you're here for.
It's a short book.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're nerds, so we can talk about this stuff for a while.
Exactly. But yeah, The Ear, the Eye, and the Arm. Hopefully you've read it. If you haven't, like I said, there's going to be spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
So go and read it and come back. But yeah, Jeff, lead us through this.
All right. Well, we're going to start with a little spoiler-free summary, I guess, by Derek, and then we'll dive into, after that, a little more depth, and there will definitely be spoilers there.
So if you haven't read it, here's something to maybe pique your interest into it. So The Ear and the Eye and the Arm by Nancy Farmer. It's a science fiction novel set in future Zimbabwe. In the year 2194. Where three children named Tendai, Rita, and Kuda escape their wealthy home and are kidnapped, forced into labor, and captured by a dangerous gang. Their desperate parents hire three extraordinary detectives, Ear, Eye, and Arm, each with mutant abilities, to find and rescue them. The story explores themes of survival, freedom, and culture as the children navigate a dangerous, technologically advanced world while also encountering traditional elements of Zimbabwean society. Hopefully I said that Zimbabwean correctly.
Awesome.
Sounded good enough for me.
Yeah, that was a great summary.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, that was the Google summary. So save you a trip, listeners.
There we go.
I tried to write in my own words, but I was like, dang, that's the perfect way. I'll just go with that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, so I think this book has always been special to me because I had like a kindergarten level reading grade all the way up till 6th grade, like really bad. Never hardly read any books. Was really bad at any of the reading tests. And they're always like at parent teacher conferences. They're always concerned. And then 6th grade, for some reason, like
Yeah, I was concerned too.
yeah,
was
everyone was. And 6th grade, for some reason, they like I just like something sparked in me, and I started like finding all these books that I was enjoying. And this one, it was the cover, and I tell you, there is power in a cover art
Yeah.
for a book. And I think it was pretty much every book I read in 6th grade. It was due to the cover, and
I mean, for kids, that's a huge factor.
Yeah,
for sure.
true.
Like, I remember that being a big factor for books that I would pick.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, exactly. There's a couple different covers. It's funny because we talked about the Power of One, how the covers never made any sense.
Yeah.
No, and it does not push you at all. It looks so boring.
Yeah.
Every front cover.
Yeah.
With these covers, like the one I have, the book I have, it's you have the 3 characters, the ear, the eye, and the arm, all standing around the blue monkey, which are all like kind of big characters in the book. And they're the color on the book is just so bright and vibrant, and you're just like, what is going on here? Who are these people? What is up? Like,
It looks like a circus.
what's going
man.
on? Yeah,
It is so stimulating and wild.
very stimulating. But I mean, it was that just like blew my mind as a little kid, and I remember reading it and just like loving the story and finding it so intriguing, and then of course I would read it numerous times later in life and just still loving it and enjoying it, and especially being older, finding a lot of certain like themes in it, and I think what's so special about this book is it paints a picture of like a technologically advanced world that has all these like conveniences, but then also emphasizing the importance of like tradition within that technology, and not abandoning your traditional values for technology. But then it also shows how if you stay with tradition, sometimes that can also be bad, because like it shows almost both elements of it.
Yeah,
For
it
sure.
definitely had that idea, and like it definitely allowed the whole tradition to live on, and how it could be a bad thing to let that idea breathe and be romanticized, but also demonized. I think that really happened when they went into what was the sanctuary? Rest Haven.
Yeah.
And you have the twins being born, and you see how barbaric the Rest Haven people actually are when they are so superstitious, thinking one of the children is by the way, this is when we're getting into spoilers. Yeah. By the way,
spoilers.
When they think one of the twins is a witch, and so they're just ready to kill it the whole time. Yeah. And it's like, okay,
it's pretty graphic for a kid's book. I mean, they're talking about killing the baby, filling its mouth with ash to let it suffocate, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, it definitely made me feel a lot of negative feelings towards these people.
Yeah. And you feel like, but then they emphasize the importance of this place, and I think the start of the book really goes to illustrate kind of the technology side of things. How all 3 kids they're the children of the
Amadeus
Matsika. He's the
such a cool name.
General of Security. What's it called? The
General of Defense, was it?
Or
something. He like runs the general of the army.
Yeah, he runs like the military and the security of
why there's no more gangs except for the masks, and so he's very accomplished.
Yeah, very protective of his children, and he's basically built a fortress around their house, and pretty much the kids' only exposure to the world has been the technology
inside
in their house.
That fortress.
Yeah, the robots and they have big turrets all around the house. They have like a dog.
Doberman.
That's a robotic.
They
call it a robotic Doberman.
Yeah.
I love the terminology in this book for the technology, where they use like robotic Doberman, or they talk about the pantry, which is their like it's like basically their cupboard, but it makes them their dinners. So they call it the pantry.
Yeah, and they just program in their meals, and it just makes it. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. they're all kind of savant children, geniuses in their own ways, all very young. I think Tendai is 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Rita's 12 and Kuda's like 6.
I think he's 4.
Is he 4? He's 4. Yeah.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
very young.
remember thinking, wow, he speaks really good for a 4-year-old.
Yeah. And like Rita's like super, she knows how to do technology. Tendai's kind of you sets up from the beginning that he kind of has some connection to the spiritual elements, and
Yeah, he's not gonna follow in his father's footsteps and
very
be like a
sentimental, very
general
empathetic.
war
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah, exclaims very soon, like from the martial arts master, he's very empathetic. Instead of thinking very cold and logically. He's empathetic and able to feel others' pain, or at least sense it and have an understanding of it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because his father and the martial arts instructor kind of feel that's the negative aspect of things with him, and of course they praise the younger brother because he's like ready to go to war as a little 4-year-old and has that more like aggressive tendencies.
Mindset.
He's just a little lion.
Yeah, the lion. Yeah, and so like it's fun. The cool thing is the premise they set up for why the children are trying to leave the house is they are all scouts, part of the Boy Scouts, or the
trying to get a merit badge.
Yeah, trying to get merit badges.
Yeah,
and
Tendai wants to be an Eagle Scout.
A little 12-year-old, I kind of could relate to that because I was in scouts at the time too, and getting merit badges. And
yeah, do you think scouts will make it to that far in the future,
to the 22nd century?
The funny thing is, though, they talk about how it used to be just for the boys, and then they let the girls in.
Yeah,
and then they mix them together all as one,
which that's happened. So maybe good.
It's just the scouts then, I guess.
Yeah, just the scouts, but they're trying to get like a explorer's merit badge, which means they have to like go on a hike or go through kind of the city to explore some of the neighboring area, get out of the house, and that's like the last thing Tendai needs. And so he's been trying to talk to his father about it, but his father is very stern and disciplined, and so it's been very hard. Like they reference the fact how Tendai imagines his father in front of everyone in the city and critiquing how they're dressed, and he says, "You get 10 push-ups, and you get 10 push-ups."
First scene we have with him, he expects his children, and he looks at them if like a thread is out of place. 5 push-ups right now.
Yeah, very materialistic.
Yeah, very materialistic.
Militaristic. Yeah. As you'll find,
we're still looking for that dyslexia cure.
Still working for that cure. Every listen helps.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew what I meant.
Oh yeah. And so like there's this key character in the book they call the mellower, which is also kind of another really cool aspect of the book. They talk about how there was this rise in these people called mellowers who were trained in speech in a way where they could kind of hypnotize people with praise. And it became like a therapeutic practice where these mellowers would essentially praise people and cause them to go into like a relaxed hypnotic state, and it would help people to relax, from their stressful lives, which is also kind of interesting considering how in today's age we almost have that in like social media, right? How like people are seeking praise for the things they do. So it kind of paints an interesting future how like now there comes a point where there's hired people who do this.
Paid professionals to give you that gratification.
Yeah.
What's interesting though in the book is like Tendai, Rita, and Kuda, like why would they need the mellower? At that point in their life, they've grown up with a silver spoon, no like troubles. I mean, they've had a overbearing father, but like it's just interesting that the mellower probably isn't that meaning all that much to them at the time.
They even talk about the mellower being like their nanny. Like he pretty much raised them from babies.
Parent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the mellower basically ends up colluding with them to, in a way, hypnotize the father so he could sign a release form so that Tendai, Rita, and Kuda could leave the house when the parents had kind of went to go do some business elsewhere.
Mhm.
The mother she's like a university psychologist. And so she's also busy out doing things. And
Now, I might have missed this. Was the Melwar just doing it for the children, or was he in cahoots with like?
he was just doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can tell like kind of he's a sentimental, very like
He's kind of like a good cop, kind of like he's kind of like that parent
Wants
you
to
have
give them
that's-
everything.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like that parent. I don't know if it was your mom or your dad growing up who was
Spoils.
willing to give in more
he's kind
easily.
of weak-willed, but
Yes.
he's also very kind and sentimental. So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he really cares about the kids, and he's like, "Oh, this is what you really want? Well, I can help you."
Mhm.
So he's kind of the catalyst to help them get what they want and make the events of the story happen.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they eventually are able to get out of the house, and they spend their time starting to explore some of the streets, and they're having a pretty fun, safe time out of it. And then they come across this blue monkey who catches their attention, and just being little kids, they get kind of engrossed in this little performance the monkey's doing. And the monkey turns out to be a genetically modified monkey, kind of demonstrating the issues with technology they had at the time, how this was a monkey that had been spliced with like monkey, dog, and human DNA, so it could talk. And it's funny because like it talks about the monkey having an owner, but the monkey was really like the boss of the owner. So,
Yeah.
he's like, and then the monkey is the kind of the main antagonist to start the series, where he is in cahoots with the people that want to kidnap these kids. And that kind of sparks the kidnapping and throws the kids into this kind of epic, suspenseful journey they end up on. And this is where the kids really are introduced to kind of the real world in their first instance, where they're thrown into the flay, which Dead Man's Flay, which is essentially like a giant trash dump.
That seemed pretty terrifying to me as an adult.
Yeah.
So you reading it as a sixth grader, I wondered how you did it, because then again, child abduction is just scary in and of itself to me. Sound of Freedom came out, and like the movie Taken and everything, that always just gets me on like very suspenseful and on the edge of my seat. So when that stopped, and I was like, "Oh, don't tell me it's one of these stories." I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that abduction scene is so intense. The whole time, like I remember reading it as a kid and be like, "Go Tendai, run away! You can do it! You can make it out of there!" And then there's the scene where they're taken to the flay, and it's this giant, like basically a city of trash. And there's this lady who runs it, and they call her the she elephant.
She elephant,
huge woman.
She elephant.
And she's kind of their main kidnapper, kind of arranging all of this. And she's dealt with like child trafficking in the past and kind of been a petty criminal for the most part, but very intimidating character. And the kids try and escape at one point, and it's funny because they talk about how nobody chases them, and then from like off in the background they hear the she elephant's voice echo across the flay, and they're like, "Catch the children." And then all of a sudden, this part freaked me out as a kid. All of a sudden, like they talk about the trash moving and like these creatures and like things coming out of the trash, and it's the people who have like taken residence in this trash city called the Flay, and they call them the Flay people. And I mean, just like it sounds horrifying because they look like these monsters coming out of the trash,
coming
to catch
out of the
the
earth
kids.
to like get. It's like basic Dungeons and Dragons stuff where you're in the cavern escaping with the treasure, and then like hands start coming out of the ground. So, but I imagine like just this big trash bag coming up and just like it looked so creepy in my mind. Them all just rising up and getting them.
You know what I thought of when, especially with like. When we're introduced to the ear, the eye, and the arm, was the mutants in Futurama for some reason.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
That's, I don't know why, but that was just like what I pictured.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah, they talk about the Flay people being so like camouflage because they're covered in mud and trash.
You just blend
And
into the
they're-
surrounding.
I mean, it's kind of a telling of like what became of like the homeless population, like how like, I mean, you go to like some cities like New Orleans, and you see some of like the homeless people, like they are
Well, sometimes you don't
well
see 'em
integrated.
'cause-
Yeah.
Oh, like L.A. There's
Oh my
a
gosh.
homeless city
Yeah.
Oh,
inside
no.
L.A. Yeah, we had an experience in New Orleans. That was fun. But
Oh,
Oh yeah.
anyways, yeah, it's crazy.
So they end up the kids end up getting caught again and brought back to the she elephant.
Or
Oh.
you know what I think of is the episode in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Frank and Charlie to become trash hoarders. And they have so much trash in their apartment that they have
They
to go and
just
stay
sleep
in a
on the street.
dumpster.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Talk about like you know, the psychological narrative here. That I mean, these people are living in literal like radioactive trash. They call it dead man's flay because for hundreds of years they said people couldn't live there because of how much trash and refuse there was and how toxic it was, and like they say like at this time it's kind of dissipated to the point where it's livable, but it shows how like some people in certain psychological situations, like the flay people, they are fine living in that situation to live the life they kind of want to live, and a lot of them are called, like Tendai refers to a lot of them as alcoholics, like a lot of them are drinking alcohol from that the she elephant makes.
Yeah.
And imagine probably drug addicts as well.
Yeah, like I think at one point it's mentioned how they're kind of directionless and it's close to zombies, as I guess you could say. They don't really have anything going on in their lives, no goals, no higher ambitions. And the she elephant, they like actually love her because she gives them order, she gives them direction, she gives them.
But less
She's
so
the
called
leader.
The flay people. Yeah.
Which I thought that was some crazy example of Stockholm syndrome because I don't know about you guys, I hated the she elephant like all the time. Like every time she was mentioned and it was in the book, I was like, I hate this one. But again,
as
she's the kidnapper.
As
I'm
a
like,
bad
I
character,
hate
she is really well written.
Yeah,
you just do.
I
not
hate her so much.
Yeah. And the big thing with the kids is they're recaptured. They're basically sent to work in these trash mines to mine for like plastics and other things. And the she elephant she's demonstrated as like kind of somewhat being empathetic to them in the way that she takes care of everyone. She cooks for everyone, even like all the people in the flay. And
don't give a redeeming clause. I hate it.
But on top of that, she's also like a raging alcoholic with very like abusive tendencies, and and she like basically slave drives everyone there. But it's interesting because Tendai talks about how he almost enjoys this experience because of the fact he's able to actually work with his hands, something he's never done at home. And this is like their first dose of reality, like actually getting out of the house, actually working with your hands and experiencing something.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine going from like a fortress of solitude where you're Superman theme, I guess. But, where you're golden spoon, everything's given to you. You have servants, and then you go to a dump where there's just crazy people, crazy things going on. That would just be, the contrast would just kind of wreck me, especially as a kid.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, I do love the way they start off their mining journey because, Tendai's trying to like calm down Kuda and give him solace by saying we're on an adventure here.
This is a game.
Dude, when he said it was a game, have you ever seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, it just made me think of that because that's how the dad helps his son in the concentration camp. So I was like, oh man, this book's probably gonna get my heartstrings going, isn't it? But when he starts saying this is like all the stories the Mellow told us.
Beautiful Life?
Oh, I said it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
Life is
I'm like,
beautiful.
Life is
That's what it is. Life is
concentration
beautiful.
camp.
Sorry, what? Sorry. Life is beautiful. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful. Have you guys seen Life is Beautiful?
No, I have not seen that.
Oh,
that movie. Oh my
that movie will
gosh.
wreck you.
Tragic.
That
Holy
movie will
cow.
wreck you. And
Oh.
long story short, it's basically about a Jewish dad at a concentration camp with his son, and he's just trying to convince his son, like, this is all a game. This is all
Like,
something the whole
keep
country's
his
doing
son
to
positive.
keep his son
and okay.
positive and innocent
Oh,
after this
my
whole
gosh.
national tragedy.
Yeah.
So when that was
That's
happening,
rough.
and I was like, oh my gosh, is it going to be this kind of book? I thought they were going to be in Dead Man's Play the whole time. And I was getting worried. And they start saying, this is just another adventure, like what the Mellow World always told us. We're not to the end yet where we have the fun. We're in the dark time. And I'm like, and now he's pulling some Samwise Gamgee stuff. I'm saying, it's like the old stories, Mr. Frodo. And I'm like, golly. That's kind of where I was kind of backing up Tendai, but there are some times where I'm like, Tendai. We'll get to him later. We'll get to my opinions of him later.
Yeah, I always loved. He had great optimism through the whole thing, but and talk about moment of leadership being thrust upon you. Because Tendai was very timid, like back at home.
Yes.
And then suddenly being thrust into this. Now he has to lead his siblings. Not only that, but he has lead his 4-year-old brother and his stubborn 12-year-old sister.
Oh,
Yeah,
his
what a
sister
good
who just-
representation of an annoying little sister.
Oh man, yeah. What was the word they called her? Like a shupa or something? Someone who just agitates and has a gift for agitating people. And I was like, oh my gosh. At first, I thought that was the author's way of putting in some comic relief, but I was just so annoyed by her. I was like, Rita, shut up! You're making it worse.
Oh yeah, 12-year-old little brat.
Got away with it too. It wasn't for you stinking kid.
Yeah, one thing I love about this book is the colorful characters. So yeah, you have Rita, Tendai Kuda, General Matsika, the mother, and then the Mellower, all kind of very unique characters. And then when they go to the Flay, you have the she-elephant, which talk about, cool, interesting, unique character. And then you have Knife and Fist, who are kind of the cronies of the she-elephant. And then you have Granny, who is this nagging, an older version of Rita, a very old version of Rita, very nagging and judgmental.
Yeah.
Rita
She spends the entire time, when she's on scene, talking about how she's going to turn in her son, who is
how awful
Knife.
they are.
And she's like, "You are all horrible people. I belong in a convent. I'm a special holy person. You guys are all horrible, evil people." And it's so funny, just the dynamic between everyone, the interactions between everyone, and one of the most colorful characters shows up at this time, Trash Man.
Trash Man.
I remember reading this as a kid, and for some reason, I was convinced Trash Man was a double agent. He was somehow actually smart, and at the end of the book, it would show to be this hero character.
Yeah.
No, Trash Man is just Trash Man.
Oh man. I don't know what it is about the big lovable idiot. That is a trope. It's like you with origin stories, Greg. I can't seem to get enough of them. I love me a good lovable idiot in a book.
Yeah. That's why you like me so much, huh, Derek?
Yeah, you big old lovable idiot, you.
No, with Trash Man, I actually thought of Big Baby in Toy Story 3 for some reason. But I might be on my own with this, but I felt like the names that were used were fun to a point.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe the author overdid it just a little. You know, like ear, eye, arm, she-elephant, trash man, knife, fist. You're like,
oh yeah,
okay, do Tendai, Rita, and Kuda, are they the only ones that have normal names?
I think
she used up all her creative work on
Amadeus
Matsika.
It's literally
whoa, what a cool name.
Asked like a kid. They're like, what should I name this character? She's like she might look like an elephant.
I think some of these do derive from like actual like African like names and terminology, like kind of ideas. Like you kind of somebody gets a name and it becomes their like totem, their like quality.
Yeah, and in Dead Man's Flay, I think they mention how like rudimentary their understanding is of things, so they kind of just give each other names of like the simplest thing of like knife, because he's always using a knife.
Trashman does actually have a
they mention it.
name.
Yeah, they mention it at Rest Haven. But I completely forgot because I liked Trash Man so much. And they just kept calling him Trash Man.
Yeah.
Like they learned his name, they still call him Trash Man.
Yeah, but Kuda, a little 4-year-old, falls in love with Trash Man, and they are able to somehow communicate with each other.
They just understand each other.
And it kind of becomes like this. He's basically like a chaotic force in the book. Like you never know if Trash Man's going to be doing something good or if he's going to cause a problem.
Yeah, like imagine having the Kool-Aid Man in your Dungeons and Dragons party, and like you never know if they're just going to bust through the wall or not.
Trash Man
because Trash Man literally does bust through a wall at some point just because he hears Kuda saying, "I want mama," just bam. Just,
oh yeah,
like mama, I'll take you to mama. And like Rita's sitting there, strong, isn't he?
Oh my god!
Yeah, just this Kool-Aid Man of a guy who's just capable of doing this random stuff, but you never know if he's gonna do it.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't even know if he's gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
So I think getting back, Tendai kind of has some moments here where he is kind of experiencing real life and hard work and actually kind of enjoying some of it, but still looking for a way to get away, looking for a way out. And this is where the very beginning of the book kind of introduces the spiritual element. Tendai has a dream where he sees like a figure, and he has a sense that it's like some special spiritual figure. And then while they're in Dead Man's Flay, he's exploring some of these trash mines, and he comes across this pool of water, and there's kind of like this like significant moment where there's like, it's like a solstice thing. There's like a manhole cover, and he sees a ray of light come directly above it and illuminates this pond, and he finds this like sacred necklace that they call an Indoro. Mm-hmm. And he realizes that this is actually a very special item because it's made from actual seashell rather than like a manufactured kind of object. And you kind of get a sense that Zimbabwe still has a lot of traditional spiritualism, but it's been modernized in a way. And like that this Ndoro is actually a connection to the pre-modern spiritualism where there was actually a lot more traditional. And it basically becomes Tendai's connection to the spiritual elements, where because of the Ndoro, he's able to, in a way, like pray to his ancestors, pray to the spirit of the land. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name that they give the spirit of the land.
Was it like, what was it, Mondoma?
Oh yeah, Mondoma, something like that. And it's funny, the book actually has like a glossary in the back for Mondoro.
Oh, Mondoro.
The lion spirit or spirit of the land. So, but this is really where it kicks off kind of the spiritual connection, and which, when you first read the book, you're like, this is a like future science book, and then all of a sudden it starts throwing in these like mystical spiritual elements.
Well, see, you say it's a future science book. This might be where I had a problem with it, where it takes place, it starts off, they have robot butlers, they have an automated Doberman. Tendai makes note of how he has pangs of not hearing real birds and everything. I feel for the rest of the book, they didn't really do much with the futuristic technology. Like the whole time I said to myself, if this was all just regular cars instead of hover cars, or a regular phone instead of a holophone, would it change the story? I feel like she didn't really play well enough with that aspect of it at all. That was one of my small little gripes with this book.
I totally agree.
I was like, I feel like this is still in a modern day, and you're still going to an ancient time when mysticism was where it's at.
Yeah.
And the robots, what did you guys think? Like, the way I pictured them, they mentioned them when they're falling down, their wheels are still raw. I was like, what is this Toy Story stuff, man? Like, come on, you got robots. Do something cool with them. Don't just have wheels for feet and then just the way they talk, just, give me your cup or something like. It's all basic. I'm like, oh man.
Oh,
Yeah. No, when I was like reading, there was times where I'm like, oh wait, this is set in like the future. I'm like, oh wait, there's like futuristic technology in this. Yeah. Like there was moments where I totally forgot that it was sci-fi.
This is 1990s technology future, so or like 1990s idea of the future technology. Yeah. So
yeah, that's true.
Considering, I mean, how much like of our conception of what future technology will actually look like with advancements of AI and everything, it's like definitely changed things from back then. But I think that kind of goes into, I think it's purposeful because it really shows like the high society is really the ones that actually have like all the future stuff.
Yeah,
because like when they talk about,
most of the time they're
like
in
the cow's guts community,
guts.
It's like kind of like a urban, underbelly, like inner city kind of stuff where like, it almost seems like modern times where people are still have some technology things, but I mean, people are still going to bars. They have vending machines that at one point the trash man like bends a bottle cap to the shape of a coin and fits it in the vending machine. And I thought to myself here, I'm like, isn't this the future? Like, we have vending machines now that you can't do that with because they'll like detect like it's a bottle cap. Like it can detect like, is this actually a quarter? And so it's funny, like, oh, they still have vending machines there that are kind of trash. So it shows like this is almost the future, but it's not quite the future for everyone in a way. It's kind of interesting, but still, missing, I think, what, again, not quite as well built of a future as like it could have been.
Yeah, or just kind of took a back seat.
Exactly.
I guess I'm just sad because I thought, first chapter, robot states it's September 2nd, 2194. And I was like, oh, I was not expecting that when you recommended this book. I didn't know it was a science fiction. So I was like, I wonder how we're going to explore, the whole technology clashing with tradition. Whereas they really just explore mostly the good and bad of tradition. Whereas technology doesn't like snuff out tradition or how it can integrate with tradition, which that left me a little unsatisfied.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not like bagging on your childhood, Jeff.
It's one of those things. As a kid, it totally had a different appeal, and as an adult, like I still love it. But definitely, you start, like I said, I noticed this time the whole like vending machine thing. I was like, and this was like, so the trash man is involved in helping the kids escape the flay because he's able to carry Kuda, and they get out and they get to a train station as they're running away, or a bus station as they're running away from the she-elephant. And like at one point the kids are hungry and the trash man bends a bottle cap to fit it in the vending machine. And it's just like, and as an adult, you're going to see things differently. And you're like, wait a minute, vending machine?
Or like the time when Ear, Eye, and Arm get a scoop in Mr. Thirsty's pub, and like they immediately go to the holophone and say, General Matsika, come here quick, and like it just notifies the whole bar. Oh shoot, the general's going. Where I'm like sitting there, I'm like, dude, today you can just send a text. It's quiet, and you could have just avoided that completely.
There's no email. This book is written like in the early stages of the internet, 1994. So
it's so interesting that like what some people think the future might be like. You got like this book that didn't quite get it right, but then you get like Orson Scott Card in Ender's Game, and he nailed it with like the desks,
basically being an
like
iPad or a tablet,
VR and everything.
Oh yeah,
so
crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously just part of what their creativity brings out, but
yeah. So the the children end up escaping because somehow like the spirit of the land helps Tendai see a way out, and they end up at a bus station. And I love the interaction between the kids and the bus driver, because the bus driver sees the she elephant barreling towards the bus, and and he's with the kids, and they're like, oh, the kids, Tendai's trying to play it smart, and he doesn't want to like reveal that they're General Matsika's children, so he's like tells the bus driver, she's chasing us, we need to get out of here. And it's funny because it's like there's a lot of moments where the kids kind of could have been saved had like they've been able to act a certain way, but it's also like they're kids, they've never seen the outside world, they're experiencing all this for the first time, so you kind of understand it, but it's also like, well, come on.
It's kind of frustrating as the listener or the reader. You're like, oh, come on, man.
Well, there was a lot of like semi-frustrating things, but it's part of like the story. And but like with ear, eye, and arm, they always seem like one step behind.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, oh, like get there.
So I guess we should reveal. So the kids are on the bus. The bus driver ditches because he's like, oh crap, this lady's coming after me. And as the story goes, it kind of shifts between Tendai's perspective and then ear and eye and arms. Well, I'd say mostly arms perspective.
Yes, he's kind of the main focus out of the three private eyes that they call themselves.
So because like General Matsika, he's the security supervisor, and so like he has power over the whole country, but like in this instance they feel powerless because this is kind of an underground thing, and he's eliminated all the gangs minus one like very notorious gang called the Masks, who are basically causing chaos and destruction across the country. And they are thinking, possibly could have something to do with this. They need to hire some people who could potentially have like be able to access some of that underground. And because Matsika, whenever he shows up, every like at the bar when his name was mentioned, everyone disappeared.
But I also think there's like politics behind it too. Like
exactly.
He's kind of like held back. He can't just like send the army to go and look for his kids because he's trying to be political with it.
Exactly.
Not overstep. He's just a rule follower.
Yeah, and it does show like in some places he can't just use his authority. Like Rest Haven is kind of an independent like state of its own, and it's kind of like the standard of if you try to like
Israel.
It's like the Holy Land. Yeah, if you decide to invade it, you are setting a standard to all the other countries that nothing is off limits and you can do anything. Basically, you're saying war crimes are cool now. They're okay. The Geneva Convention was just a suggestion.
Exactly.
So, ear, eye, and arm come into it as kind of like hush hush.
Private detectives.
Private eyes.
When they first answer the phone, they're like, ear and eye and arm, private detective agency. You got shady husbands? We'll check or we'll follow them or something.
The way he does answer the phone is pretty fun.
And they're just like, you can tell they're kind of small time detectives, but they're unique in the sense their names denote their abilities in a way where their mothers were exposed to radiation while they were pregnant with each of them, and they each have kind of abilities significant to their name. Where giant ears is very like acute hearing, and eye, he's got some intense eyes. It's described his eyes as like almost an entire pupil, where he can almost like see microscopically.
Sunglasses or goggles the whole time.
And then arm has like almost a psychic sense, but
he could easily be called leg.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually super gangly.
One of my favorite descriptions ever is when she described arm.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, wow, that's like, it was just super fun and like descriptive. I don't know.
She does pretty good with those descriptions, and I think arm especially. He seems kind of like the favorite of the bunch because he's the main of them.
Yeah, his ability just seems to. I mean, hearing and seeing obviously great for detectives, but like the arm, being able to feel, almost read people's minds and sense things.
That's a pretty big cheat code if you ask me when it comes to being a private eye.
If you guys had to choose one of their abilities, what would it be?
Well, as you see in the book, that Arm with his psychic abilities, it does hinder him a lot.
Yeah,
And
there's that.
It's almost like a curse.
Yeah, it's almost like what was
they're all kind of like a
mask's,
curse in a way.
what was the mask's god that was like tempting
yeah.
him, like the big-headed mask god that they try to summon it and tells him, "Oh, you're tired, aren't you?
Basically
Feeling
uses
all
his
these
psychic
feelings."
sensation to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, and it's like you know, because all the time as a kid, even now sometimes I've always wanted to be like, man, I wish I could just read minds so I can forget trying to read these subliminal little hints, especially when I was dating. Oh man.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, if you could actually read minds, you probably wouldn't want.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hear or see all the stuff
he
that
almost doesn't have
happens.
control over, right? Like all of their abilities, they're all hindered by them as much as like they excel, because like ear, he has to wear the earmuffs, eye, he has to wear the glasses, and like and then even like when they are wearing their protective stuff, they're still like affected drastically by it.
Yeah, that's true. And Arm is like really affected. Like his
He
mood
can't put on
becomes
anything.
his mood
He's getting
becomes your mood.
baby's feelings. And
Yeah,
moods.
or like when is it eye or ear who's just like fainting on the glass elevator, and Arm's just like,
It's
I am
because
now
he can
just
see.
yeah,
He can see.
and Arm's feeling all his stress and anxiety. He's like, oh shoot, now I feel this way too. So it's pretty much a curse. They're not really glorified as gifts.
It's very clever, to make like your heroes or the protagonists, not overly powerful in a way. To their powers do hinder them in some way.
I agree. Yeah, that's like basic writing 101. Give your protagonists your heroes.
I'm trying to think of who I'd pick. I'd probably go with Arm, because I mean, eyes, either eye or arm, because the ears would be a little weird. That'd be a little intense.
Can you
Eyes,
imagine
you can
falling
at least
asleep
kind of
and you're
like-
hearing some ants chew? Or you're in a room and you just hear someone squeak out a little fart. And you're like, oh man!
Ears ability is probably the most useful, being able to hear, but then it also is like you're burdened with the hearing and the giant ears.
I feel like eye would be the easiest to like control. You could just get goggles or something that makes it so your vision isn't or is.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
I can't find the name of the big mask god, but it's the Gondwanan gods. They're the angry,
they try to
angry
summon.
gods. They're like the opposing nation to Zimbabwe. I think they're a fictional nation that she wrote in to kind of not target any nation in Africa, but just kind of make a nation that would be like the enemy nation of the Gondwanans.
Yeah.
Kind of like how in Top Gun
it's obviously not Russia.
Yeah. Or China. But so these guys are hired, and they're like a step behind the kids at every moment as they're going through these adventures. The kids end up, and this is where the tradition really kicks in, at Rest Haven. And this, I think, is kind of the big discussion point where, like, they went from, the technology side, trapped in the technology world, to kind of the real world where there's still technology, the semblance of tradition, to like straight tradition. And Rest Haven's it's basically its own country in this locked off walled area that has been allowed to go back to traditional ways, like even more so, like kind of like the village in a way, but even like way beyond traditional of that, like people living in tents and whatnot. And Tendai first really well connects with this as he's like experiencing the traditional ways and like sees how like wonderful it is. These people are living, with the land, they're connecting with their ancestors, these spirits. And but then you kind of start to see the negative side of things where like if you stick with tradition so much, it kind of bleeds into where problems can arise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like I think Rita was kind of that example, right? Like she talks about like she went from being a normal girl to suddenly being subservient to all these men.
Yep.
And talking about how there was this one, the tribal leader had married a 14-year-old, which again, nowadays, like, people are uproar about that, but in traditional times it was such a common thing. And this, it's interesting because we talked about last time how, like, Greg, you hadn't read any African based books, and like I had mentioned how I felt like I'd read so many of them. One of the big studies I had in anthropology back in college was this book called Nisa, I think it was called. It's a true story based. It's like her autobiography. Well, she didn't write it, but like somebody wrote it about her. But it's her story. And of course, reading this as a kid, I never really grasped a lot of these things. But then reading it now, I'm like, able to connect it and see how, like, it was like her growing up as a bushwoman in the Bushman tribe, and you could see like they were able to grasp, or like their interactions with things, and how, like, I don't want to say primitive because that could seem derogatory, but in a way it is kind of primitive because, like, yeah, the men were marrying 14-year-olds. These 14-year-old girls were having children and all these things, and like sometimes these babies were being killed, which is one of the big issues that was brought up, right?
Yep. Well, let me ask you this: what did you guys think of the ending? Like, I had some things where I was like not feeling too good about. Like, do you feel like the climax was good enough, or the way everything got wrapped up, it seemed a little too convenient to me? But also with how easy the she-elephant got off, like 2 years of prison. Like, come on, man, come on.
Well, I actually loved kind of like the she-elephant redemption kind of arc.
I think it was kind of necessary.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a cool twist. You could say, for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. It was good as far as that aspect of it. I enjoyed like that kind of. I enjoyed redemption. I really, like, you wouldn't think the she-elephant, just from how she was with the kids and in the whole story, that she's ever gonna, get
ever
to that
change.
point. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seemed too much of a switch flip, because it's when Tendai is possessed by, what was it, Mondoma?
Monomotapa.
The spirit of the land, and saying, when you smiled at her, she remembered how great the land is and everything. And I was like, literally, just because of that little thing made her change her whole outlook on life. Maybe it was because I hated her so much, but I was like, no, you can't change that easy. And then just only after all she's done, still just 2 years of prison, and then it's reform. I'm like, get out of here. Although Granny's fate didn't make me laugh. She actually made it to the convent, and spends her whole days just remarking on people's sins.
Well, yeah, the ending is quite intense. I was telling mine and Greg's mom about this, how like the story is very fast paced. It's like boom, 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 like a lot of things are happening.
And jump into a lot of places.
Moment to moment. There's like little small moments, but the ending, really rushes in, and you have all these very spiritual moments and technology things kind of clashing, where like the masks turn out to be the big orchestrators of this kidnapping, and their goal is basically to sacrifice Tendai as a warrior, because what they believe is that when you send a sacrifice to their gods, the sacrifice has to be angry and pained and like in agony, and their gods will listen. And so that's like their animal sacrifices are all very cruel, and they actually turn out to be related to the Gondwanan, the enemy country. And so like you have this big clash of spirits, which fascinated me. Like, I love this mythology here, where you have basically the spirit of Zimbabwe, who's this kind of peaceful warrior spirit. It's compared to a lion, like an epic lion. And then you have the Gondwanans, who are like this warlike, vicious gods, who like they're basically led to commit whoredoms and crimes to actually interact with their gods. And so in the end, it's kind of this clash between the two gods, Monotapa and the Gondwanan god, that's based in this great mask. And Tendai is supposed to be sacrificed to basically bring this god into this mask, so that the mask's leader, that he can wear that mask and like gain the powers.
Yeah.
Then there's all this intervention, but Arm is able to finally catch up with them, and with the help of the spirit, he ends up jumping in to try and save them. He almost dies, and then it's the connection between Tendai, the she elephant, and the great spirit, the great spirit of Zimbabwe, that they're able to kind of reach her, and she's able to realize that this is too far. Like, she's never like brought kids to be sacrificed. She sold kids to people before, but she's never
did
done
have
this.
limits on how evil she
is. Yeah.
But kind of, I think this is where I got a little confused with it, with the mellower, because wasn't like it was important that it was Tendai that they sacrificed, right? Because of his like purity,
his connection to the spirit, and being Matsika's oldest son. Yeah.
So I mean, it was just kind of convenient that that's where I kind of felt like the mellower was in on it.
I know, right? You think
he was part of the mask to get
kind of an innocent accomplice, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know. That I feel like is a little bit of a plot hole. If
I'm a little with you that it did seem a little too convenient. Just like how I said, everything seems wrapped up so conveniently, and like you said, it's a fast-paced book. You're going to place to ordeal after ordeal, and ear, eye, and arm are just right behind them every step of the way. And like, there are some times you miss it, but you're just like, wait, did they really orchestrate this? Because when I didn't even think they orchestrated it from the beginning until you just said it. I thought they were just like, oh, great, the she elephants got him, because she mentioned selling Kuda to the masks. So I thought that was at the point they realized, oh, sweet, the general's sons are out here. But I didn't even think of them orchestrating it from the very beginning.
I think, they had requested, I worked with the she elephant to arrange like a kidnapping, but then I think the kids being out in the city kind of fell into their lap. Like, oh, we've been trying to get these kids for a long time. Now it's we can.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Yeah. But I think, the main elements of the book are obviously like Tendai becoming a man, but also reconnecting with the spirit of the land. And in the end, they talk about how they really, the adults, the parents realized they shouldn't have been listening to the mellower as much as they were. That praise is a good thing, kind of in moderation, and that they need to be able to be in reality for the majority of the time.
General Matsika learns like, I should allow my kids to
allow some free
expand.
They should bit more be able to learn to actually buy something at the store.
But no, like, one of my favorite parts is like the ear, the eye, and the arm. They literally like sacrifice, all three of them like sacrifice themselves in order to save these kids, which I thought just was so like heroic. Like, especially Arm, like when he runs in, he just starts
guns ablazing, man,
just trying to do what he can.
That moment when they takes place on this mile-high building called the Mile High Macawine.
Yeah, it's like swaying in the wind.
Yeah, and it was just incredible because in 1994, I don't think Dubai had the Burj Khalifa, but the Burj Khalifa literally is built to sway in the wind because it's so tall. So it's kind of cool that, there's this kind of relation to.
Oh, good. Nancy Farmer had a win with the future technology.
There you go.
I did not know that.
But so Arm is on this at the very top of this mile-high building, trying to get into what is the Gondwanan embassy, which General Matsika can't invade because it's a foreign nation. It would be starting a war. And so, he has to basically slide off the building like Mission Impossible style into the room with the gun strapped to his back. Yeah. And, I love the dynamic in the book between like tradition, how it was so important for Tendai to connect to his ancestry, to his tradition, even for Arm to be able to save themselves, to save everyone in the end. But it was also like not being so tied to tradition that you let those values be like what make you, like in Rest Haven. Like Rest Haven kind of had its place, but it's also like there is an advancement beyond that. Like Rita talks about how cruel it was for them to try and kill the baby. Spoiler, they end up being able to save the baby, and Arm essentially kind of becomes her father. But
Yep.
which is, I love the dynamic between Arm and the baby, especially having a baby girl. I'm like, oh my gosh, even now, like reading that book, I'm like, I feel you, Arm. I feel you. But
yeah, like Rest Haven is just kind of like the lack of progression.
yeah,
It's just like they're stuck in their ways,
frozen
their
in
tradition,
time, baby.
which tradition is great, but progression is inevitable.
Yeah, has its place, but it's I think equally not to forget tradition, but take that with your progression. Yeah.
Find the good parts of the tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Leave the rest behind.
Oh yeah. So boys, I think that sums up kind of the themes of the book. But what do we feel on ratings?
Ratings?
I'm going to go last on this one. I've read it the most. But
all right, I'll go first with it. And it seems like I'm the one who had some of the most negative outlook on it. Both of you seem way more optimistic about this than I did. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It was good. I didn't hate reading it. I did enjoy it, and there was a lot of fun with it. But like I said, with the technology stuff, it left a little to be desired.
Yeah. What do you think rereadability, Derek?
Rereadability? I probably wouldn't read it as often. Like, it's definitely not a once a year read for me. So I might go back to read this again once I have a daughter of my own, that I might, since I only have a boy. So I did not get it out with Sakai and Arm like you did. Part of the time I was like, what's the point of the baby? So like, I feel bad saying that out loud.
There's a baby.
Why did they have to bring it along?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, I guess, the most pessimistic of this book. But I'm not going to say it was a bad read. So 7 out of 10, good read. I may not never come to again, but I may show it to my son.
Above average.
Yeah, above average. It was a fun read.
Yeah.
Fun concept.
No, I'm kind of right there with you, Derek. I think I'm going to give it a 7.2. There's aspects I loved, aspects I didn't really like. I really think its rereadability is pretty good, because when I reread it the second time, I enjoyed it a lot more. And I think maybe just kind of at that point, I recognized the characters and recognized kind of what was going on.
Nice.
So yeah, it was fun for sure, definitely.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely like a youth, like young. I'd say young teenage. Like 12 was probably perfect. There are some intense themes in there, but I mean, definitely a young book. I would give it a 7 too, like probably 7.1. No, probably just like a 7 range. I have loved this book. I know it's not like a perfect book. It's not something that stands out as a beacon among books. But for me, it's definitely special because of like a nostalgia, right? Like I rereadability. I always go back to this book when I'm feeling like I want like something I felt like when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Something I feel like when I wanted to read it and kind of have that feeling again. And this is one of those books like, and a great thing about it, I enjoyed it when I was younger. I enjoyed it now when I'm older. And like, this is one I'm definitely gonna have my kids read, especially because the themes in it are like really good themes. Mm-hmm. Especially like, I love the fact they saved the baby. I love how important that was. And how valuable like that life like felt to everyone, especially to Arm. And Rita.
Make me look like a total heartless SOB.
Just wait till you have a girl there. Just wait.
Someday.
Things change in you.
It's pretty well renowned. What's the award on the cover there?
Newbery Honor, 1995.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah,
it's by no means like a.
Nancy Farmer did write, like, she's written a lot of like books based on mythology.
Okay.
Like, I think there's
I don't
one
think that's
like
her most popular, right?
Yeah, it was like a Viking book that somehow Yeah, it's like more popular.
Wait,
yeah.
there was a Viking book we could have read, and you didn't recommend that
Actually,
one?
I haven't read it. Gosh darn it! I want to read more for books. But...
Yeah, I mean that's partly my fault putting Jeff on the spot to try to pull a book out of his butt. And we were on
Hey,
that.
I'm not disappointed with the book he recommended. I don't feel like I wasted my time. Like that's the worst thing you can have with a movie or a book is that you walk out of it saying, I'm never getting that.
Yeah.
No.
So I definitely
I'm
did
glad
not
you
hate
guys
listening
enjoyed
to
it.
this. I did enjoy it. So
Yeah.
it was a good read.
Definitely worth a read. I think average score between us 7.1. So
Yeah.
above average, fun book.
Huh. I'm surprised you had the highest score out of us, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Cool. Yeah. Let's see, Derek. For next time, let's have you pick.
Oh yeah, next time is going to be in October, so Halloween spooky season.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of good spooky stories out there we can
Dang,
explore.
Is there any African spooky stories?
No. We're taking a break from the African mythology, as good as it is. Like we could venture into the classics of Dracula, Frankenstein, or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
But I say let's go with a nice light read, but full of good stuff. Let's go with I Am Legend.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah,
Will Smith.
dude.
No, not Will Smith.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm excited about that for sure. So, yeah, ye heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Next time, we're going to be talking about I Am Legend. I will say, if you have not read that book and you've seen the movie, shame on you. Go read that book and forget about the movie. This is definitely a beloved book of mine, so I'm very excited about this.
Honestly, once you read the book or listen to the book, you're going to just think, that movie is really bad.
Both movies.
Yeah.
Both movies. I Am Legend and The Omega Man.
Which, yeah, we talked about it. We're going to have to watch
We're
Omega
gonna have to
Man.
go
We're
over
gonna
those for the
sell.
podcast.
I've never heard of Omega Man. What?
The Omega Man. Charlton Heston from Planet of the Apes in one of the worst movies to ever exist.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, there's a little preview of next time, folks. But, yeah. Yeah, go read I Am Legend and meet us next time where we'll talk about that. Yeah, if you have any ideas for like a top 5 you want us to do or books you want us to cover, put it in the comments, or you can email us at bigrascals.podcast@gmail.com. Yeah, just let us know what ideas you got or anything, any improvements you'd like us to do or talk about.
It's a good subject.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
what you guys thought of the books we have read? Good to hear. Yeah,
if we didn't cover something that was your favorite part, we'd love to hear your favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we want this to be a club, a book club involving everybody. So,
yep.
Yeah, one thing we forgot to mention at the beginning, there was some big events in the country this week, but we just want to express our condolences to the Kirk family and send prayers their way. So really, we just want to encourage unity and love. It's some scary times in this country right now, and we need more positivity. So let's spread that love and positivity.
Yep, prayers going out to the Kirk family. And like Tendai said, in the ear, the eye, and the arm, we're in a story. We're just not at the happy ending yet.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, thanks for joining us here on Big Rascals. Keep reading, keep writing, and stay rascally, my friends. We'll catch you next time.
Awesome. See ya.
Yeah.